Hey, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
How y'all doing this morning?
Oh man, pretty good. Are you standing or are you on one of those like medicine ball?
I'm standing. I'm flossing. I'm
Oh,
a
okay.
zoomer this morning, dude. I feel like a zoomer.
A little bit of a good luck floss.
I'm just, I've got over my illness, so I'm just full to bursting with energy. I made $25 last night gambling on sports, so I'm becoming a professional at this thing.
Hard to beat. We've talked about that pretty in depth. That Sonic needs like a sports book, right?
Oh yeah, but everyone in Sonic is. Look, I'm Sonic Maxi. I love Sonic. I love the ecosystem, love the team. But I was going to say, everyone in this is too cowardly to do something so brave and bold as to make a sports book. I'm sorry. It's just
because
the law is just harder around that than casinos, probably.
Yeah, I guess so. I think for whatever reason, it's like really.
I mean, I don't know if you use sports betting, but at least here, I gotta use an app specific to my state.
Yeah, it's like. It's interesting, like the workaround they found with this was a few years ago. I don't know if everybody remembers. Like, they kind of found like a workaround with like the fantasy football betting stuff because they were able to still say, I guess it's if it takes some kind of skill.
Oh yeah,
they can give it this like other designation and it's okay. But if it's basically a game of luck or chance, then it's like a different. So technically, sports book, I think that still takes skill personally, but that's kind of the argument, and that's why it's harder to get pushed across. Is like, it's pretty much like a coin flip,
Yeah, I lost $25 on whether the Ottawa Senators and the Nashville Predators would score the first goal of the game. So I don't think there was a lot of skill involved in that. I was really just guessing. Like, there's no way to know, but I did win because the Senators just thrashed those Predators, dude. Felt good, man. I was going to say something. Oh, yeah, it was this. I wanted to mention this before we get into it. I am excited for the first CryptoZar brief in a few hours. I'm going to watch it. David Fat Sacks himself.
Yeah.
The Yammer God.
Now,
tell us whether or not we're going to be rich or not tomorrow.
Can we – wait, hold on. Wait. Is this guy's profile picture you?
Oh, yeah.
I think it is. That guy's okay.
That's my JW.
No,
I think we go way back, bro.
Yeah, man. So people straight up making Corval their PFPs now.
What can I say, dude?
Infiltrated the culture. Yeah.
They're gonna let me in the LA vape cabal soon. You know that?
Yeah, we went out to LA, and I was telling the guy, Corval had all these jobs lined up just off word of mouth of his performance from the Sonic Council video.
Yeah, they want me in the FaZe FaZe Clan streaming house. So that's why I was flossing. I was getting ready for my Zoom moment.
But yeah, I'm curious to see how the CryptoZar briefing is going to go. Oh, have you talked about diamonds yet? We're going to talk about that. Got it pulled up.
Oh yeah, Mr. Avalanche.
Yeah,
that's what that means in his name, right? The little red triangle.
Yeah, MVK. Shout out to MVK. He's a longtime show watcher.
Love you, MVK.
Yeah, like it was interesting where what was it? Eric Trump yesterday was like, if I was you guys, I'd buy some Ethereum, and this was like right after they did like some big ass Ethereum buy. So that's what I want to see is if anybody remembers, if you were here in the last run, and this isn't just talking about crypto, this is talking about, we talked about last episode how like the dream used to be that the crypto market would decouple from the stock market and be like its own thing and blah, blah, blah. But because the two are so like linked, I don't know if you recall last round, but that was a big thing with Trump was like Trump would basically wake up, check price. If bad price would literally bull post.
Yeah.
And the entire market, people would literally like wait for Trump tweets to like buy or sell so I'm wondering if like the CryptoZar, if we're going to see something similar to that, where it's like, World, what is their holding company?
World Liberty Financial,
which is like the word. Okay. World Liberty Financial. I'm curious if we're going to see where it's like World Liberty makes like a big, altcoin purchase.
Yeah.
Next day, they're like, I don't know. I think you should buy think you should buy this, like doesn't have anything to do with our, $200 million buy. But
yeah, I think we talked about this with like the meme coin launch, but they've been doing some sneaky accumulation already. So I think that's exactly what we're seeing.
Yeah. So like, I feel like Trump so far, I don't know if it's because maybe his team has said, all right, bro, we're going to have to like chill a little on like the market manipulation tweets.
He's definitely just outsourced it to his kids, dude.
Yeah.
He's got bigger fish to fry right now. He's out here throwing tariffs on Luxembourg and shit.
Yeah.
That they make better cheese. I don't know what the fuck you'd ask Luxembourg for.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking though, was like, I guess they've told him he can't really do that anymore. So I guess he's just going to have like, his kids and his, crypto holding, they're going to do like the sneaky shilling for him or something. So it's going to get interesting. I'm excited to see what happens, to be honest. You know.
I'm excited to see what the crypto czar says himself. I'm not super hopeful for many of my bags. I feel like I still might be too esoteric for that normie. He's probably going to go up there and say, Chainlink is of national importance. And then there's something, you know what I mean? Like we need more Chainlinks.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's going to be interesting to see like what the angle is. Is it going to be more of like somber and actual policy, or is it just going to be like, we got to pump this market, guys? We got to get those numbers up. Mm-hmm. The U.S. is failing. The U.S. does not have enough companies. The U.S. is not like developing new products in crypto.
Baron is rugging me, dude. Baron is not doing it. He's just rugging
Baron. How is there like there's like 10 tokens associated with Baron?
I cannot wait, bro. I cannot wait for the tell-all book to come out and it's going to be revealed. Yeah, I stole my mom's phone. I launched Melania.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. But yeah, I mean we're entering, I would say, with this crypto czar talk today, I think we're officially entering like a new era, right? I mean, the game is about to get different.
Oh yeah. We're entering a new era. We've been talking about this, dude. You can't expect altcoin season to happen like it was. You can't expect the bull posting to happen like it was. I mean, John McAfee's dead, first off. We're not going to get the
RIP.
Yeah. What we got in place is the LA vape cabal. Remember when John McAfee would come on and so transparently just every day he'd be like, I'm going to tweet a different coin every day for you to buy.
Yeah, those were great. Those were great times too. When
hilarious time where he would just not even know what the fuck he's talking about. It just be
somebody like sent him a bag, so he's just like, today I want to focus on any Inu whale kelp, whatever. It's a great coin. It's got a safe moon buy sell kind of thing going on. Great coin.
Yeah. Well, we miss him. We don't have him back, but we'll have to settle for the president of the United States.
Yeah, I guess that's all we have is the president of the U.S. to pump our bag. So hopefully we see something out of that. But the tariff thing was kind of interesting. I was like looking at the chart here.
Wow.
Now I gotta
look at the same wick as Ethereum, bro.
Yeah, look at this wick. This was the tariff wick. Kind of interesting. I mean,
it's like kind of ridiculous when you talk about like the pairings all fucked up. What would tariffs have to do with the Sonic token at all, dude? What is the input here that relies on global trade?
Yeah, it's just a market reaction.
It's foolish.
Not to toot my own horn, but I guess I'm a little bit of a nothing ever happens guy. People were saying it was over on Sunday. We're done. And I was like, this thing's going to probably blow over in like 2 or 3 days because we'd already, just some advice, like what I always say about when we have like the Fed meetings and it's like the week of the Fed meeting, the market always tanks and people say it's over and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm going to go ahead and say it now with this tariff thing. Because who was it? Colombia, where he already had a tariff thing with Colombia before he even became president. Mm-hmm. We're gonna see this a lot. Where, I mean, look what happened. He said there's gonna be tariffs. I was like, it's gonna be the same strat, right? It's gonna be a negotiation strategy. So
we need to get Adam Cochran on the stream, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, first thing Monday. He's talking to Mexico. He's talking to Canada. They do what he wants them to do. Okay, we're going to put the tariffs off a month, right? We're going to see this a lot. So, there were so many bottom sellers over this tariff thing. I mean, I would be in shambles if I sold my Sonic for 30 cents just for it literally to go back to the same price the next day. Look, I mean, literally, by the next day, it tapped 47 cents again. I mean, like, literally, you sold for nothing. And I'm sorry if you did it and you're listening right here. I feel for you, but this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You know, just think it through.
This had to be liquidations, right? Like, this had to be liquidations. Like,
oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, for sure.
I doubt very few people willingly parted with their Sonic at that price, but maybe I'm wrong, because I did see a lot of, like, you know, look, we've said it many times, whining, complaining, suffering on the timeline. There's plenty of it the last couple of days. People, and I'm like Drac said, I'm sorry if you've lost your shirt over this, but at the same time, how are you in a position to lose your shirt, bro?
Well, I think there was definitely a liquidation aspect to it. You know, somebody like MVK references this to Billy. There was actually I saw some other calculations though, where 2 billion was actually very low. Like there's people that have run the numbers that speculate it wiped probably 6 to 8 billion from the liquidations. Yeah.
I was seeing that from the Bybit guy. He was saying 8 to 10 Billy wiped out. And
yeah.
If you look at the total crypto market cap, it did drop by about $700 billion or some shit, and it recovered. Yeah. But like, it was a lot, dude. It did a lot of damage, bro.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of damage for it to literally be a nothing burger by the next day. Now, that was even faster than I thought. I was thinking, okay, like, you know, probably by like middle end of the week, we're gonna like stay. It was like the next day. I mean, that's insane.
Like Mexico capitulated like Sunday night, and then Canada Monday morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So America stay on top. Sorry if you're not American in the chat. Be better next time. I don't know.
Yeah. Fallout says, you know, his first term was volatile. So what do you think is going to happen this go around? Take advantage of the swings. And yeah, that would be my general advice. Is I think that was a little bit of an appetizer. That was a little bit of a reminder of what we're going into here. You know. So keep your wits about you. We're not in a normal presidency right now. We're going back to the insane market, you know, with all kinds of intrigue, espionage, bull tweets, shill tweets. Do you remember at the end of Trump's presidency the first time where he was like literally doing like paid ads for like hot sauce on his ex?
That's awesome.
Like, think about it, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're it's a new game here. But yeah, I mean, hopefully he didn't get liquidated.
I remember when they deplatformed him, like they and then like someone on Twitter was like, it's crazy how deplatforming Trump just worked. Like, he like meant it. Like, it was Matty Iglesias. He was like, they remember when they removed Trump's Twitter account because they were saying he was like being too hateful or whatever. And they were like, oh, we finally stopped this monster. And he just goes on to become president twice. It's so crazy.
But it's not all doom and gloom. Like I said, you know, the chart recovered. You know, we're still in a similar area here on price. We had a little bit of a breakout. We're kind of just ranging here in this, you know, 50 cent to 40, low 40 area. I don't know where we go from here in terms of like, are we closer to alt season? I don't know, because if you look at Bitcoin, this is a funny situation, right? You know, Funeral says we be derping, no concern, and I'm with that. Derp.
On God, bro. On God, bro.
On God, derp. You know, looking at this chart, like, the problem is like, as long as we're just doing this, we're not going to alt season yet. We have to actually, Bitcoin has to, like, I don't want to say like come down a leg. It doesn't really have to do that, but I feel like we're still not like losing any of that dominance.
Yeah. It's just, look, Bitcoin is just proving to be stronger and stronger than ever. This and like hype are like the only two things that like recovered 100% immediately and then just did not move. So I'm kind of thinking too, dude, with like all this boomer talk about the Bitcoin reserve, sovereign wealth. I mean, people are speculating on the sovereign wealth fund kind of in a stupid way, I think. I don't think he's going to buy meme coins with a sovereign wealth fund. But the Bitcoin reserve is a real possibility. I mean, we've had states announce theirs, like individual states as well as other nation states. So, you know what? We might just be entering. Look, I hate to say it. We might just be entering just straight up the Bitcoin bull run. It's just only Bitcoin to $1 billion, and we're all just going to be chilling, same area, same price.
That would be insane. But you know, I do still think, like I said, we're still just not there yet. I would go digging through. Maybe it's worth it to go dig through TradingView to find this damn dominance chart. I should have had it pulled up. But yeah, I mean,
Bitcoin dominance, I think, was what, like 67%, maybe up to 70%.
Yeah, I mean, it's been insanely high.
61%. I'm way off. But it did wake up to 64. Yeah. This is a really funny chart, actually. Just because, like, oh wait, I'm already sharing screen. That's why. The wick is like in reverse. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, this is like the opposite of what we need for
like talking about like the strength that we're talking about that Bitcoin was showing. It was like, well, everything else just nuked to hell. It just weathered the storm very effectively.
Yeah, I mean, it dipped below 100K, and I think it was back, you know, kind of like what you were saying by like Sunday night. I guess Mexico had already, you know, it went below 100K, and I think same day it was back above 100 by like end of the day. So I mean, but like I said, it's not all doom and gloom, because what I'm enjoying watching is DeFi Llama TVL, because we've just watched Sonic just, you know, when Sonic launched, I think it came out at about upper 40s, maybe even low 50s in terms of rank, and just been slowly climbing up. I mean, look at this, like 437% change in TVL in the last month,
making Zirkit look ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we just moved over Blast, you know, Linnea, Say, that's a big one. Near, you know, passing all these guys that kind of like to, you know, talk shit about Fantom and Sonic compared to like their tech or whatever. Ton, which, you know, Ton as a chain is kind of not very great.
Or chain, bro. They're insolvent, dude.
But
it's madness.
I have an idea. Not an idea. I have somebody I got my eye on. So let's just, when you look at Sonic, we got a goal, right? And you got to set attainable goals. So I see Sonic at 25. There's only one thing that I'm zoomed in on. This guy.
Cardano.
I want Sonic to pass Cardano, and then we know it's on.
No way.
We have to do it.
No way.
So
I mean, that's such a Charles Hoskinson, dude. Andre versus Charles Hoskinson.
Yeah, we need to get past Cardano, and we definitely need to get past Pulse Chain.
Okay, don't talk fucking crazy. Pulse Chain's like Ethereum, but better. Okay, it's the same exact thing as Ethereum, but better. Because you gave everyone a bunch of free money.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know if Pulse Chain is kind of like,
it's called Pumped Up Tire. Don't go there.
Is Pulse Chain kind of just like Tron, where it's like it's literally just Richard Hart's money on it?
No.
That's pretty much it.
There's a bunch of hexicans. There's a shitload of hexicans, dude. There's so many. There's more hexicans than Mexicans, I think.
So they're they're still doing that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you know, I like to see that though. I mean, 25 respectable, over 400% increase in TVL in the last month. Says 281 right now. I think we did tap, you know, before we had all this tariff business, I think we did tap 300. Let me pull up the other guy here. Let's see. Yeah, it was close. It was 295. We were almost at 300.
We're getting there. We're coming for you, Charles. We're coming for you, Cardano.
Yeah.
Anyone in the chat ever even used Cardano? I don't think so. You're too sensible. You're too smart.
I had Cardano when there was like, you know, 10 tokens to trade, because that was one of the tokens you could trade. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what people are actually doing on the chain there, but yeah, I mean, we almost tapped 300 before the funny business, but you know, dropped down to 280, back up. Looking at the protocols, you kind of had a funny idea. You were talking about how like sometimes you like to go to DeFi Llama and just like go to the bottom and see what's going on. Yeah. So we know all these guys. let's see what's going on. Like, just
The
get
newcomers, dude.
Yeah, let's get wow, this is way more protocols than I thought.
Oh yeah. Nothing too crazy yet. We don't have a boobs.finance. Some of these seem like they're actually trying to be normal.
Yeah, we don't have a boobs finance, but apparently we do have an eggs finance coming.
Where's eggs finance?
Eggs. Yeah. So let's see here.
Rolling up.
Okay. So
I don't know anything about most of these. Aurum, Sacra.
A bunch of dexes down there. Yeah.
What is this? 2021? You can't just launch a dex anymore, dude.
Yeah. It takes a lot more than that.
Yeah. Dior swap? Whoa.
Well, that was those guys were out at launch, remember? They were
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the decks that they basically just like make sure they're like first mover on like every new chain, and then they close up within like 2 or 3 weeks. That's pretty much their meta.
Yeah, I wonder how that works for them. That's cool.
They drop on a new chain. They drop a bunch of shit coins. That's exactly what they did on Sonic. They dropped like 3 or 4 shit coins right with the decks, and I don't know. I think they made some money and time to fold up and go to the next chain.
They perfected the business plan that people were using to survive the bear market, which is just to go to every chain.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, but we got a lot of stuff going. I mean, not bad that you basically have 20 protocols with over $1 million in TVL. That's not a bad look. Of course, it gets higher as you get,
Yeah, what I'm noticing is just Silo is just dominating, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big play to
that Silo intern is so gross looking, but he's got such good threads.
It was a good play, to incentivize. First of all, we needed like a good lending market. Fantom, we had obviously there were most people weren't deploying on Fantom for about the last year since they knew Sonic was coming, but we had 2 lending markets. One of them ended up rugging. Well, I don't want to say the protocol rugged, but it got rugged. So we needed a good lending market. So yeah, I mean, they've definitely gotten a bunch of promo, but obviously the big move was the 20-30% APR you could make on just lending stables, which even with all of that TVL, I think it's still, I mean, I have some stables in there because I think it's still like 16-17% APR on USDC. So pretty legit. It was a good plan there, I think, to make sure to incentivize that.
Yeah, I think it's smart. I mean, like, what is like Drac's saying, we kind of need lending. So like until Aave comes, what would be the lending alternative? Then we saw one lending platform on here near the bottom that I'd never heard of, but I'd be a little sketched out, so it makes sense. It's kind of interesting because we're already seeing like this, I don't know. It's just further confirmation. We're seeing this on Sonic, right? Sonic is like Fantom, but like fresh start, right? Blank slate. Yep. And so it's like very modernized in terms of like what a chain kind of looks for and wants. So it's like back in the day, you wanted like a unique fork for each chain or whatever, or not even a unique fork, a unique product. We got our own decks, our own lending platform. Now people want something that's a little bit more experienced because they've been around long enough. We want an Aave, we want a Silo, we want something that's been around for a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, that's kind of the upside is we're getting actual Aave and not just like a bunch of Aave forks, right?
For sure.
But in the deck space, I mean, we're fortunate that yeah, like right at launch, like I said, you had like DYOR and stuff like that where they were just blatant uni V2 forks or whatever. But I mean, looking at the top dexes here, I mean, all these dexes are like unique and like built from the ground up. And you got Beats, WagMe, SwapX, Shadow, Equalizer, Metropolis. We got all kinds of products. Wow. So I'm kind of enjoying that actually. Sometimes you get that situation where there's a clear front runner and everything else kind of has trouble growing. Like I've seen that with like, something like Camelot on Arbitrum, Trader Joe on Avalanche, definitely kind of famous for, I mean, they just had such a hold on the network that, really hard for like other dexes or other products to compete, even if they were novel or interesting. So yeah, I like to see that everybody's got a chunk of TVL, everybody's doing their thing. Just thoughts on Spectra. I've been playing around with that a little bit. The system is not for like, what's the word for it? Like, I don't recommend getting involved with it if like you're kind of like a novice at DeFi. It's kind of like a pendle system where you buy and trade yield and get fixed yield, and wouldn't mind going into that like in depth maybe here in the future, because I've had a few people ask me about it.
Yeah, we probably should. This is a type of product that I'm seeing like a lot more of. I've talked to a couple of different projects that do something similar to this, which is like the interest rate swaps, interest rate derivatives.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do we'll do a thing on that here maybe in the next episode or two.
I would definitely say like if you're familiar with it, yeah, we should definitely do something on it, because I think it's definitely one of the more like emerging novelties of like DeFi, right? I mean, we've already seen success with Pendle, but I think as it continues to grow, as we become more familiar with it, we get more sophisticated actors. Hell, even AI agents may be getting more capable.
I mean, it's kind of like a kind of like how AI is sort of like like a new emerging sector for projects and things that you're gonna it's kind of what's happening with this like yield swapping stuff. Like I think you're gonna see more and more of it as things like progress, and it's gonna be like one of those things that you have on a chain, right? I mean,
no, I mean, from chains I've talked to, that is something that they definitely, even if like a team doesn't have like experience with this particular type of product, chains will ask them to build this. They'll be like, do you know how to do it? Like, do you want that? Can you figure it out? Can you like fork it or something? Like, it's like pretty complex stuff too, I think. I mean, definitely compared to where we were in 2021 in terms of DeFi.
Shout out to this comment. It says Pharaoh taking Trader Joe's lunch now. Shout out to Pharaoh. Big fan of that project. Know those guys, good guys. I know we've had a lot of Avalanche talk on this episode, so I won't go too far on that. But yeah, shout out to those guys. But what I wanted to touch on was, talking about the different dexes and all that stuff going on. We are starting to see, we like to talk about, things that can help get you like your airdrop, points up. So
dude.
Yeah, we got a couple new Shadow's got some gems for main pools, and that's one thing. All these gems and everything, you're basically providing liquidity for like core pools, right? So USDCE, SCUSD, which is rings, staked USDC, Ethereum, STS, all that stuff. So you're seeing a lot more of that. Like everybody's kind of like finally getting their gem stuff rolling for real. I did, on an interesting note, this happened right before the show. Equalizer came out with they're calling it Diamonds, and it's like their gem program, and it's definitely like interesting. They've like really put a I guess kind of like a PvP element into it. There's a certain supply of diamonds. They got, their allocation. I think they were one of the bigger, let's see, I think they say it here. Sapphire winner, which I think is second the highest amount of gems you could get. So they've, they're saying there's like a cap supply for diamonds, which, like I said, holding the diamonds is the equivalent of, getting your gem allocation for your airdrop points. But they're kind of like doing all this stuff, like, it's going to be a liquidity pool. If you get in, they have a curve where like the earlier you get in for like the liquidity pool, the higher your allocation is. And then when I was talking about PvP, there's like some tax stuff on it if you sell. So like there's all kinds of stuff going on here. I'd recommend checking out the Medium article. Let me link it here. But
this is so insane, dude. So
yeah,
what you're telling me is if I want to get the points, the gems that Equalizer has acquired, I have to acquire diamonds and then I swap.
Yeah, so everybody's kind of got like their own system. Like it's basically the way this works. Like I said, if you want to look at something like Blast, when they had their Blast Gold and Blast points and all that, It's kind of like up to the protocols to determine how they're going to like distribute those points. So that's where you are kind of like, you do have the opportunity to, if you're a protocol, do something like this where you can actually make something interesting with your gems. Like I know like a lot of the protocols, it's more of just like okay, you earn your points and that equals your gems or whatever. But yeah, so this is interesting. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. It's the first protocol I know of to really kind of like try to like gamify the system. Now, I think it will be interesting because it's like we don't know what gems are, we don't know what gems are worth.
Yeah. We have no idea, dude.
Yeah, we need like DeFi dad or whoever, calculator guy or whatever they call him. We need one of those guys to really like do the math and try to give us an idea of like what we're working with here for the value.
Yeah, I mean, I could ask. I'll get asked him. I'm sure. I feel like he's done something like this before. I might have missed it, but can it even be calculated at this point? Like, I guess we could do like what they've allocated to this from their tokenomics, right?
Yeah, you would just need like the broader math. Like, I mean, like I said, there have been people that have sort of tried to calculate like what your dashboard points would maybe be worth, and yeah, it's like in the broad scope of things, a certain amount of basically your dashboard points have been allocated to this gem program, a certain amount of the points total. So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna read here because I didn't actually read. Like, so 6% sell tax, so every sale they burn some diamonds. 7% sell tax for reflections, so I'm okay, so 13% total tax if you sell your diamonds. So 6% gets burnt, 7% basically they do like a reflection token kind of deal. So they sell, the sell tax, that part gets distributed to the diamond holders or whatever.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So it's like a game of chicken.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I said, they have a certain amount of gems they can distribute. They've put a cap on the amount of diamond tokens. So I'll be interested to see like what, I think that's still kind of like what we're waiting on really with this program is what is the monetary value, right? Like what will the market dictate these are worth as
it's
a token?
Kind of a fun game though.
Yeah.
No, fun game.
And I think it's interesting because I know Danny very early on, Daniele from Anon, this is before any of the Anon stuff launched or anything. He was like out the jump, like I want to tokenize the gems.
He was gonna.
No one really did it,
I think they kind of preferred to control it themselves, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
MBK, I don't think they've added the active points yet. I mean, I had to check last night.
Yeah, need to check.
You could have significantly less points than you, or more than you think. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't have that many points. I only have like quadrillion or whatever, 10 trillions.
He's got 100. He's got 100 million.
Nah, I've got a very modest sum. I'll just say this: if it's worth $1, you'll never see me again. Each one worth $1, you'll never see me again, boy.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, there's that going on. Also, we mentioned Metro having their, Metro finally went live. I guess that was last week, and they have introduced straight up Metro staking, which is pretty sweet. So nothing like too complicated here. You stake your Metro, you earn fees. It's real yield. They're saying right now that staking just single staking Metro, 100% APR in USDC, which is crazy.
Whoa. That's nuts.
I mean, I'm guessing to get that APR, they've probably been like kind of like saving their fees they've generated so far. But still, I mean, month to month, that should be pretty nice especially for just staking, right?
Holy smokes. You get in on Metro, Drac?
I got some Metro. I got a little bit of everything just because, it's new eco. Want to have a little bit of everything. At least projects that I think are interesting or, well done or, want to support those projects. So, you're seeing that a lot on the timeline. It's like the Dex wars out there. Everybody's got people in their own communities and they're all kind of fighting and taking little jabs.
Tensions are high. Tensions are high. Blood is being spilled in the back alleys of Sonic as people, compete for your business, folks.
Yep. Now it is kind of like an interesting.
So true, dude.
last
Drac
run.
is the Dark Lord of DeFi, dude.
The Dark Lord of DeFi. I don't know. Like maybe Corval, maybe you remember, right? Or maybe someone here in the chat remembers, whatever. Like, I feel like last run, there was definitely some really intense competition, especially with things like, OG Spooky, OG Spirit. There were dexes around then. I can't even remember the names, but, I felt like there was kind of at least like some collaborative spirit and everybody kind of like settled down and started working together a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We're not having that right now. It's like Fallout Zone says here. It's PvP. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, is it like, what do you think? Yeah.
I think, it's, I don't know. It's hard to say. There's good parts and bad parts to it. You would think if it's this hostile, you would get like competition, better competition. We could hope that that's the end result.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it could just like, I don't know. It could also be good marketing. Who knows? If it gets very dramatic, people might come check out.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I can see it going both ways. You know what I mean? It's like,
you don't want to create a space that's too hostile where you can't collaborate and you can't like get new people. I was thinking about this the other day. I had a revelation last night where I was like, you know what? Really, for like, is community really that important, right? In terms of like retail community, is that important? Because it seems to me probably what's the most important thing in this business is like development community. Like, do you have people creating, because these are people that are creating the value, right? Like they're creating new tools to use that people want to use. So there's advantage in if it's like competitive, because then you have people trying to be good and make good stuff. But if it's also too toxic, then no one wants to come play, right? So,
and I will say that's what I feel like we're seeing right now is that it's not necessarily like hit a toxic level, and I think it has actually spurred like competition, in a good way.
Good.
Because like I said, without that competition, you might just have one dex dominate the chain, and I don't know. I just think that's kind of boring, right? So you have all these dexes at the top that all have like unique systems. None of them are the same. And I think that like creates more opportunities for farming and, for price action and everything else. So, but yeah, a lot going on in terms of DeFi. I mean, I think that's why, people are talking about, price bad, why bad, dev do something. But watching the TVL grow to me tells me that the system is kind of working, right? I mean, not kind of, it is. People are bringing their funds here and bringing them here for DeFi. And that was the goal.
This is like a crazy paradigm shift, and it's gonna be difficult to wrap our heads around. And tell me if this is too nuts. But I've kind of always had this feeling about like network tokens that you shouldn't really be the thing to think about them may not be like this is an investment vehicle, as in like, oh, like I'm expecting this price to go up or whatever, but as like a tool to conduct business, like just like the medium of exchange, right? Yeah. Like I don't just hold cash dollar bills. I use cash dollar bills to like purchase instruments that generate return. So like the real value on a chain, like let's say you have a chain where the token is completely stable, like it never goes in price anywhere, but it has a bunch of products on it that generate insane APRs for you, right? Is it a good chain or is it a bad chain?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not what anyone wants to hear, but yeah, it's something I'm thinking about. I'll write a Medium article about it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, speaking of Medium articles, I guess it was more of a Twitter.
It was a Twitter article.
It was more of an X article.
He's algo maxing, dude.
Yeah. Andre's getting it right now in terms of the blogs and the trolling and the arguing. Love to see it. But
he really is. He's been online lately, dude.
Yeah, he's definitely been online. Yeah, we've been like I think it was last show. He had the why I really quit in 2022. This time he's released something just kind of talking about mistakes he's made in the past, things that he kind of thought, he could have done better, but we could go through all that stuff, but you know a lot of these things already. But what we wanted to look at here is this insane list that is all things he's kind of working on.
Yeah, I guess like the summary of like how he got to this point was he was saying that he made a lot of mistakes that were the result of regulation, like trying to circumvent or play around regulation. So an over emphasis on decentralization because he was told that if he had any like authority over the system, he had responsibility over it, so they would sue him or prosecute him, and so. Now he's saying that's a more favorable environment. He could finally do what he always wanted to do without having to jump through all these hoops.
Yeah, and I mean,
that long list.
Yeah, I mean the list is crazy. It says 8 years of R&D, and that all of these things are kind of like meant, to work together. So I mean, seriously, he's even linked all of these like separately to times he's like kind of, talked about them or he's writing about them like recently. In fact, let me put this here for everybody as well if you have not seen this yet, because it is a mountain of information. But I mean, just to like look at some of this stuff, I mean, perpetual liquidity, IL offsets, liquidity delegated governance, one-click tokens that have liquidity time lock and stop loss, gasless wallet, liquidity options mining and options LM, gentle liquidations, B4 ZK oracles. That should definitely be very interesting. Money market based insurance, which, also becoming kind of like an emerging field in DeFi. Forex AMM. Andre's always had a thing for Forex, it seems like. So maybe there's finally a Forex based AMM, not Eminem.
Yeah.
On-chain leverage spot of arbitrary margin, money market-based perp contracts. I mean, like I said, each one of these has a link to its own like thing.
This is a dense topic. Maybe one we can come back to over and over again. We probably will have to because
we should probably bookmark this.
Mentioned Sonic's quietly gaining, and so much hasn't launched 4 Andre projects. So these 4 projects he's mentioning are the components that are going to form these 4 different projects here. And it's a lot of stuff, dude. It's some pretty novel stuff. I'm curious to see, like, because we haven't really gotten a lot of detail. We've gotten a lot of the theory behind it, like his ideas behind it, but we haven't really gotten any hints as to how. I mean, this is the closest we've got. He's kind of laying out a little bit more of the architecture of how like some of these systems would work together. I'm excited to see, dude. I'm excited to see when he's going to actually launch, though. Do you think this is the kind of thing that will generate like strong positive price action? Do you think Andre has the same pull as Sonic users would like to think?
Oh yeah, I mean, I still think in terms of broader DeFi, I think that's what everybody's waiting for, really. I think everybody's, and that's no shade to any of the protocols that have already launched, of course, because like I said, there's a lot of great stuff going on in the network right now. But I think the broader DeFi, broader crypto, Andre, that's still like the name that people are waiting. You know what I mean? People are still like, okay, like that is like, that will bring new eyes to the chain for sure, is when it's like, oh, there's like new Andre stuff to play with.
Hell yeah. Well, there's going to be 4 new things we're going to play with. So I'm expecting the price to 400%. And if not, then we're deporting Andre back to South Africa.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, check that article out. Like you said, Corval, I'm sure we'll be referencing it often because
that's your homework, fellas.
Yeah, there's just, like I said, so much stuff in here. They all have their own little articles and explanations. But that's the bottom line is the man is cooking and there are things coming. So get ready.
Hell yeah. I heard he uninstalled Path of Exile, so
you can get locked in.
Yeah, things are going to start accelerating here. Okay.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much all we got today. I see FollowZone says, looking at the TVL, I think he still has the pool. Yeah, I do too. I think he still got it.
That old man still got it.
Yeah. So, excited to see what comes. Last question here says, when meme mania? Your guess is as good as mine, but I'm 99% sure. I think someone has specifically said it is coming in February. So hopefully that means sooner. Yeah. Hopefully sooner than later is what that means.
Right? It means tomorrow. And if it doesn't come out tomorrow, you guys need to Sonic Labs and say when me mania. Everyone needs to just at them and say when me mania.
Yeah, I've heard they love that when everybody just says when every day, all day. But
and all the and all of the posts.
Yeah. So but yeah, that's what we got for today. We will be back on Friday, and as always on X, Sonic Talk, or we also stream on the actual Gmsonic X now. You can check it out on either YouTube, GM_Sonic. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can listen to the episodes. Those trickle down a little slower. It's usually about a week behind because they got to actually upload them, do some stuff and all that. But, and yeah, we will see you guys on Friday.
Thank you all so much. See you next time.
Gmsonic is Corval and Dracula Presley. GM.